Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are back. Today we are drawing Spider-Man in his alien costume, the symbiote, which later becomes Venom, as we all know. So what you can see right now, I'm really just getting warmed up. I'm getting myself sketching very loose and creating a figure here. I'm not really sure if this is what I want to paint, but like I said, I'm using this as a way of getting myself warmed up. And you can see I'm just kind of focusing on the gesture of the pose. It's very loose. The sketching is quick, but it's not this quick. Obviously, I've sped things up here a bit. And so this one I really liked. This is very much like the Spider-Man 3 poster that everybody loves, I'm sure. If you don't love that poster, then I'm questioning you and your taste for iconic Spider-Man imagery. But still, just trying things out. I'm playing with some foreshortening and really contorting the figure of Spider-Man. This is something a lot of people will toss in Todd McFarlane's name in there for how he was able to twist and turn Spider-Man's body around. And so we are getting started now on the actual drawing. I'm working on a piece of Bristol. You kind of seen me show that sketch pad cover a minute ago. And out of those little sketches, that second one that I did, I was kind of favoring that at the time. And so I decided to go with that. And you can see me, I will sketch out little foreshortening doodles to kind of get my head in the right track with what I'm trying to draw here. And I'm just redrawing that same gesture that I did in the previous piece of paper onto this new artboard. And we are just moving right through. I'm constructing the figure from basic shapes and often little stick figures, so that excuse of I can only draw stick figures or I can't even draw stick figures, that anytime somebody tells me that, I kind of reaffirm to them that doesn't necessarily affect your ability to draw, because everything I draw starts off with a stick figure. So let that be encouraging to you if you're wanting to get into drawing, and this can kind of give you a look at how we build those forms and that figure up through layers and through adjustments along the way. So right now it's looking very squished, and part of that is my perspective from how I'm recording this time-lapse video. I'm still kind of working through that, and so maybe I can try out a different arrangement that will give us a better picture. But as I'm sketching, as I'm drawing, I'm going to be making adjustments and maybe moving a leg around or moving some kind of piece of the figure to where it looks more correct. Now just kind of laying in some anatomy, different muscles. Most of the figure, the form, is basically there, and so now it kind of turns into me adding those defining features with the anatomy. So you'll see me do that now. And now I want to get that moon. I wanted to sort of capture Spider-Man in front of the moonlight. And so the templates I had didn't work out. I ended up using that piece of tape. I really like this look of Spider-Man. It's very iconic, and I don't want to say it's easy to draw, because I sometimes think it's more of a challenge to show those highlights in that black costume than it is to draw the original red and blue version of Spider-Man. At this point, I'm still just continuing to render and continuing to add some little bits of value in there. I don't want to do too much because I am going to be inking this thing, but that's just something that I'm still trying to figure out myself. How much pencils do I need to lay down before I ink? So I'm a work in progress with that. Here I am using a kneaded eraser, that very Play-Doh like eraser. You can see just rolling it will diminish that line and make it a bit more transparent. If you're working digitally, or if you ever work digitally, it's like the same thing as opacity for a new layer on your artwork. And now, yeah, I knew I needed to move that leg around and kind of get that corrected, because it just was not looking right. So after some drawing and redrawing, we kind of get it a bit more in line with what I would think would be the correct positioning for that leg. And doing this sort of grid work will really help with the anatomy at times too, as they are just cylinders, so I'm just continuing that line. Now just darkening up and tightening up the drawing a little bit. Kind of have a rooftop that I've drawn in there. I'm changing my life and I won't look back ever again. At this point, we basically have our figure constructed. We've got anatomy sort of figured out. We've got enough to where I feel like I have enough where I can get started inking. So I'm going to start with just the line work with like a micron pen. And then I will jump back in here and let you know more about the different inks that I use. I'll keep moving right along, and I feel like the pain in the past, it needs to stay in the past. You gotta take off the cast. I wanna feel like I'm a new person. I wanna have clear vision and purpose, and I feel like the pain shouldn't last. If you can move on and past the things that make you feel bad, and you can change in your brain, I'm certain. I've done it before, and man, I'm not perfect. I'm changing who I am. I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. You can't stop what's moving. You can't stop what's moving. I'm changing my life, and I won't look back ever again. Go. You ain't see me activated. You better hope that you never see me agitated. I think about my actions, plan them out, evaluated. That's how I end up on the top, man, I'm calculated. My mind's a weapon, my body is the engine. I'm never second guessing, I just do what I was destined. Cause I feel I got the blessing, persistence and obsession. That's how you keep progressing, I already learned that lesson, yeah. I'm changing. I do want to show you just a few things, a few tools that I'm using for this drawing. I'm going to try filling in some big areas with a brush. This is a number 4 round brush, and trying to get into inking with a brush and getting used to that, using the Speedball Super Black ink, and occasionally switching to this Black Star by Dr. Martens. I know it feels like things get in your way. Push through those walls and the others will fall. Sit up, stand tall, you can get through it all. I need some energy, anxiety's no friend of me. I have a short memory, I don't really remember things. That's how I move on, that's how I stay strong. A new day's on, I'll keep moving right along. And I feel like the pain in the past, it needs to stay in the past. You gotta take off the cast. I wanna feel like I'm a new person. I wanna have clear vision and purpose, and I feel like the pain shouldn't last. If you can move on and past the things that make you feel bad, and you can change in your brain, I'm certain. Alright, so I didn't really like how the scanner sort of picked up some of the ink, and how I could have adjusted it maybe a bit, but I figured it would just be easier and look a lot cleaner if I re-inked it here in Photoshop. And so that's what I'm doing now. As far as color goes, I mean, same process, same principles. I'm doing my flats. I do flats on one single layer. I move into shadows and highlights on their own layers. Always using that selection tool makes it easier. And we are getting super close to being done here. I want to thank you guys again for joining me and clicking this video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will catch you guys in the next one.
You ain't see me activated. You better hope that you never see me agitated. I think about my actions, plan them out, evaluated. That's how I end up on the top, man, I'm calculated. My mind's a weapon, my body is the engine. I'm never second guessing, I just do what I was destined. Cause I feel I got the blessing, persistence and obsession. That's how you keep progressing, I already